Hello, my name is LeSean Holcomb and I'm the Artistic Director of the Griot Theater Company. We're a collective of artists, educators, and entrepreneurs committed to exploring, affirming, and amplifying brown and black culture through the arts. Welcome. We are here on the mountaintop above Marin City, where I work and I live. I get a chance to work with some really awesome young people. And we started this theater company so that we could introduce theater, introduce poetry, storytelling, playwriting, art to our students in a way that gets them excited and they want to do it at TAM. So what you're going to be seeing tonight is a collection of poetry, some monologues, some dance, some songs, and art expression of using James Baldwin's texts. We meet here on the mountaintop because in 1953, James Baldwin wrote his first essay, Go Tell It on the Mountain. And just how he amplified his voice, we will amplify ours. Enjoy.
G. Give. I will give more than I have ever given, because there is always someone who needs more than me. I will give when I have nothing yet to give at all. I will find resources deep within my soul, when I am empty. Sometimes music, thought, or a different perspective is enough to give. Life depends on my giving.
R. Remember. I will remember the scars of my people, my ancestors, their stories, their rituals, their routines that made them smile. I'll hold those memories close to my heart, as an infant holds onto their elders. This type of remembering is our responsibility. This type of remembering is our healing. My life depends on my remembering.
Imagine. I will imagine a world where I am the king or queen, nor binary supreme. Or I will imagine a place where power has no place in it, nor race, nor gender, nor anything that confines me into cages. At times, my imagination is the only thing I own, my key out of my prison. My life depends on my imagining.
I will orate my story before someone orates it for me. Others might only speak about my pain and punishment. They may exploit all my secrets. They may forget about my pride. I will orate my story, my glory, the reason that I shine. My life depends on my orating.
T. Transform. I will transform my life so that I can transform the lives of others. I will remember that my transformation belongs to my village. for it's my responsibility as the transformer to understand what I transform from and to, so nothing or no one can ever bind me. I will transform in ways unimaginable. My life depends on my transformation.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other and support each other.
We must love each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
I said they were different. I'll tell you this. When I left this country in 1948, I left this country for one reason only, one reason. I didn't care where I went. I might have gone to Hong Kong, I might have gone to Timbuktu. I ended up in Paris, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there than had already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a writer by yourself. You had to be able then to turn off all the antenna with which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You may die. And it's very hard to sit at a typewriter and concentrate on that if you're afraid of the world around you. The years I lived in Paris did one thing for me. They released me from that particular social terror, which was not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger visible in the face of every cop, every boss, everybody.
At any rate, everybody, no matter who, no matter what his attitude, is bigoted.
I did not say that.
Well, has an attitude. It's on his face. Is in the way of every boss.
But you're
every
asking
boss.
me. You're asking me to do something impossible. You're asking me to take the will for the deed. I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know, as Malcolm X once put it, that the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That says a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means that I can't afford to trust most white Christians and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their unions. I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks they give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
I never said that.
There is a housing project standing now where the house in which we grew up once stood. And one of those stunted city trees is snarling where our doorway used to be. This is on the rehabilitated side of the avenue. The other side of the avenue, for progress takes time, has not been rehabilitated yet. And it looks exactly as it looked in the days when we sat with our noses pressed against the window pane, longing to be allowed to go across the street. All along the street, there are people who watched me grow up, people who grew up with me, people I watched grow up along with my brothers and sisters, and sometimes in my arms. sometimes underfoot, sometimes at my shoulder, or even on it. Their children, a riot, a forest of children who included my nieces and nephews. Harlem got its first private project, Riverton, which is now, naturally, a slum. About 12 years ago, because at that time, Negroes were not allowed to live in Stuyvesant Town. Harlem watched Riverton go up, therefore in the most violent bitterness of spirit, and hated it long before the builders arrived. They began hating it at about the time people began moving out their condemned houses to make room for this additional proof of how thoroughly the white world despised them. The people in Harlem know they are living there because white people do not think they are good enough to live anywhere else. No amount of improvement can sweeten this fact. Whatever money is now being earmarked to improve this or any other ghetto might as well be burnt. A ghetto can only be improved in one way only, out of existence. Similarly, the only way to police a ghetto is to be oppressive. The badge, the gun in the holster, and the swinging club make vivid what will happen should his rebellion become overt. The white policeman standing on a Harlem street corner finds himself at the very center of the revolution now occurring in the world. He is not prepared for it. Naturally, nobody is. And what is possibly much more to the point, he is exposed, as few white people are, to the anguish of the black people around him. Even if he is gifted with the merest mustard grain of imagination, something must seep in. He cannot avoid observing that some of the children, in spite of their color, remind him of children he has known and loved, perhaps even his own children. He knows that he certainly does not want his children living this way.
He lay beside me on that bed like a rock, as heavy as a rock, like he'd fallen from a high place, fallen so far and landed so heavy, like he was sinking out of sight, with one knee facing heaven. My God, he covered me. He fell on me like life and death. Oh my God, his chest, his belly, the highs, the lows, the way he clung, the way he struggled, life and death. Why did it all seem to me like tears? The way he came to me, clung to me, plunged into me, sobbing, howling, bleeding from his chest, his stomach, it all came out, pouring out like tears. Oh, the smell, the touch, the taste, the sound of anguish. Oh, Richard. Why couldn't I have held you closer? Held you closer. Have you made born again? Giving you life again. Oh, the teeth that gleamed when he smiled, the spit flying when he cursed, his breath His hands, his weight, the way he moved in me. Oh, where am I to go? What am I to do? Oh, Richard. Mama is frightened. Little Juanita brought home a real lover for the first time. Maybe God does for Mama what Richard did for me. Juanita. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I want a lover of flesh and blood. Flesh and blood like me. I don't want to be God's mother. He can keep his icy snow heaven, and if he is on this dreadful, fearful earth, I will spit in his face. In God's face. How dare you presume to judge a living soul? A living soul. Oh. Mama is afraid I'm pregnant. Mama is afraid of so much. I hope I'm pregnant. I hope I am. One more illegitimate black baby, you jive mothers. And I'm gonna raise him to be a man. A man, you dig? Oh, let me be pregnant. Oh, let me be pregnant. A man. A man, Juanita, a man. There are no more for me. Did this happen to Mama sometime? Did she have a man who vanished like smoke and left her to get through this world the best she could? Is that why she married my father? Did this happen to Mother Henry? Is this how we all become mothers of helpless men? All the others perish? No. No. No, no, no. No. No, no, no. What would the world be like? I am going to take care of a man someday. I am. Oh, and help me to do it with love. Pete, Madrid, Parnell, we have been mothers to them. Ooh, must be dreadful to be Parnell. He can touch no flesh. There is no flesh he can touch. Incest everywhere. Oh, Anita, you going crazy. Oh, Lord, don't let me be mad. Let me be pregnant. No. Let me be pregnant.
Here we are, y'all. Right now we have Natalie Nong and Samil Alston. These are our first two Griot ambassadors. Let's give it up for them. Talk to us. How has it been working for Griot so far?
It's been a lot. Sorry. It's been really fun. Yeah. I really like working with Samil, and I like getting to be creative. Yeah, working together is always so much fun.
Talk to us about something that you're really proud about that you've done so far with the Griot.
I'm really proud of all of the designs that I've made. Whether it's just for T-shirts or for posters, and getting to work with actual graphic designers too, and getting tips from them.
I really enjoy working on the website. It's something that I don't typically do, and I've really just enjoyed working on it a lot.
Just some more poignant questions for both of you all. Because I've been working with y'all for a few years. Natalie, I was your
Yeah.
8th grade teacher, and then Samil, I worked with you back when you were like in maybe 5th grade.
Yeah,
Middle school, going into 6th, 7th grade. So the work that we were doing, Samil, then with I'm thinking about Patricia Pan and the work that we were doing with How the Grinch Stole Kwanzaa. What are some of those things that are, that you're able to bring to Griot? Some of the things that you're remembering or some of those experiences?
Definitely when I started working with the kids recently, I definitely remember those times and working with you, Mr. Lishan. And I'm just oh wow, I can really see myself in these kids, and I can tell that some of them could probably really go on to keep on doing theater in middle school and high school. And so I just want to help give them the support and the push to have the confidence to keep on going with theater.
Thank you, Samil. Natalie, talk to us about, so when I met you, Natalie, I've known you for some years, right?
Yeah.
I did. The first experience I had with you, I was doing a Reader's Theater thing of Maniac McGee. What grade were you in? Do you remember that?
I think that was either 7th or 8th grade. I'm pretty sure it was 8th grade.
No, this was in Miss
6th grade?
Cassidy's class.
Oh, 6th grade.
This was this was a long time ago.
5th grade.
Yeah, this was and that's the work. We work together, we go, and then we come back. And I just remember, you were you were really shy in the class. And but all the students, Jeremiah, Mark, all those students, they loved you, and you were you were a solid glue in that class, so I just want to say thank you. And then I got a chance to meet you again and work with you again in 8th grade year, where you were this fantastic writer, poet. You play an instrument. You draw. You have your whole thing with art. And so just talk to us about how how you're able to tell stories and how you use your art to tell your story.
Okay. So I like telling stories in my own style, because I typically I write more poetry than I do more sort of written novels, just because for me I think it's more engaging when you have visuals shown, and you get to actually associate a person or someone that you can relate to. So a lot of the stories that I tell, for instance the one that I'm working on right now, it all of the main characters are mainly characters of color, and through my art I try to be as inclusive as I can, and I'm using people that have been that resemble people in my own life, just because oftentimes a lot of the stories that I see, because I love reading fantasy stories and adventure type of stories, but oftentimes the protagonist is someone I can't really relate to that much. So I wanted to make stories that a lot of people can feel they can see themselves in it. So.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for that work. Because I see it, when I go onto your page, onto your portfolio page on Instagram, I'm seeing, characters who look like you, who look like me, who look like Samil, who look like the students we're working with. So just thank you for that commitment. Your commitment to your vision of seeing, protagonists who look like us and who act like us. And then for your vision of wanting to train the young ones and, becoming stronger performers and actors. So I just want to say thank y'all, young ladies. I am so thankful for the work that you're doing with Griot and what's happening with the store, what's happening with the images for our next show, with helping direct our next show. So I just want to say thank y'all, and I just look forward to our future.
Dear James. Dear James.
Dear James.
Dear James.
I have begun this letter 5 times and tore it up 5 times.
I keep seeing your face, which is the face of your father and your brother. I've known both of you all of your lives and have carried your daddy in my arms and on my shoulders.
Kissed him and spanked him and watched him learn to walk.
I don't know if you have known anybody from that far back. If you have loved anyone that long, first as an infant, then as a child, then as a man,
you gain a strange perspective on time and human pain and effort. Other people cannot see what I see in your Father's face. For behind your Father's face, as it is today, are all those other faces which were his.
Let him laugh, and I see the cellar. Your father does not remember, and the house he does not remember. I hear in his present laughter, his laughter as a child.
Let him curse, and I remember his falling down the cellar steps and howling, and I remember with pain his tears, which my hand or your grandmother's hand so easily wiped away. But no one's hand can wipe away those tears he sheds invisibly today, which one hears in his laughter and in his speech and in his songs. I know what the world has done to my brother, and I know how narrowly he has survived it, and I know which is much worse. And this is the crime of which I accuse my country and my countrymen, and for which neither I nor time nor history will ever forgive them, that they have destroyed.
And are destroying hundreds of thousands of lives, and I do not know or want to know it.
I know the conditions under which you were born.
Well, you were born. Here you came something like 15 years ago, and though your father and mother and grandmother, looking about the streets through which they were carrying you, staring at the walls into which they brought you, had every reason to be heavy-hearted, yet they were not.
For here you were, Big James, named for me. You were a big baby, I was not. Here you were to be loved, baby, hard and once and forever, to strengthen you against the loveless world.
The innocent country sat you down in the ghetto, in which in fact intended that you should perish.
You were born where you were born and faced the future that you faced because you were black and for no reason. The limits to your ambition were thus expected to be settled. You were born into a society which spelled out with brutal clarity and is in many ways as possible that you were a worthless human being.
I know your countrymen do not agree with me here, and I hear them saying, you exaggerate. They do not know Harlem like I do.
Take no one's word for anything, including mine. But trust your own experience. Know whence you came. And if you know whence you came, there's really no limit to where you can go.
Please try to remember that what they believe is well, what they do and cause you to endure, does not testify to your inferiority, but to their inhumanity and fear.
Please try to be clear, dear James, through the storms what rages about your youthful head today, and about the reality that lies behind the words acceptance. And there is no reason for you to try to become like the white man. And there is no basis whatever for your assumption that they must accept you.
I said it was intended that you should perish in the ghetto, perish by never being allowed to go beyond and behind the white man's definition, by never being allowed to spell your proper name.
But you come from a sturdy peasant stock, men who pick cotton, dammed rivers, built railroads, and in the teeth of the most terrifying odds, achieved an unassailable and monumental dignity. You come from a long line of great poets, some of the greatest poets since Homer. One of them said, "The very time I thought I was lost, my dungeon shook and my chains fell off."
You know, and I know, that the country is celebrating 100 years of freedom. 100 years too late. We cannot be free until they are free. God bless you, James, and Godspeed.
Dear Isaiah, you need to focus on yourself. Don't let anyone distract you or bring you down. Don't forget to follow your dream, and one day you will accomplish it. One day you will find your significant other and will live a happy life. Sincerely, Isaiah.
Dear future self, hi, I hope you're doing great. You're probably grown and have moved on with your life. I want to tell you a few things. One, I don't want you to give up on yourself or anyone else. And second, when you become successful, don't forget where you came from. Where you come from is what is pushing you to do better and better. Marine City is not just a random time in your life. It is your starting point of who you are. So if you don't still live in Marine City, you should go back and remember what inspired you to become who you are today. The last thing I want to say is remember what I said, and I hope your cosmetologist business is doing better and you can provide for yourself.
Dear grandparents, first God put a cross on my forehead, then my grandparents came from heaven. They spoke to me in Spanish. We had a nice conversation. Next, we had dinner together. Then I went to sleep. When I woke up, I saw my grandparents at my bedroom window. It was a sunny day. We had a picnic and my grandfather played a harp. My grandparents returned back to heaven after giving me a golden harp. I felt so loved when I saw my grandparents, and we had equality time together. Love, your great granddaughter Andrea.
My name is Nevaeh Garner, and I wrote a poem. It's okay.
Do it again.
Yep. Okay. My name is Nevaeh Garner, and I wrote a letter to my future self. Dear Nevaeh, how does it feel to be a young black woman in college? Are you still dreaming of becoming a pediatrician? I hope that you are going to a wonderful college. Keep dreaming big and remember that you have a dream that you will accomplish. I hope that you remember the goal that you set for yourself in 7th grade. Focus on you. Sincerely, your 7th grade self.
Hello, my name is Samil Austin and I am a Griot ambassador. I'm 17 years old and I go to Tamalpais High School. In the Griot company, I work on the website and help with theatrics. It would really mean a lot to me and the other ambassadors if you could please check out our website. You can come and purchase shirts like these and continue to support us and make donations. Thank you so much.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things that I should say. Say them loud and say them clear for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that would keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'll see and agree that every man should be free. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you see and agree that every man should be free. Let's go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hi, my name is Anthony Cook, and I'm an ambassador of the Griot Theater Company, and I will be talking about James Baldwin. James Baldwin had a natural talent in literature. Before he was even 11, he wrote a magnificent play, so magnificent that his elementary teacher directed it and saw his potential. Later in Baldwin's year, he continued to feed that talent and attend Frederick Douglass Junior High and study poetry by County Collin, a Harlem Renaissance poet and leading figure. James then started to write novels, mainly revolving around the themes of race and sexuality. However, society in the 1950s didn't take it well, and his second book, Giovanni's Room, caused lots of controversy. But his work now is highly respected, inspiring other writers, and are even taught in college literature classes.
Hello, my name is Shantina Keene Thomas, and I'm very happy to say that I'm playing the role of Marguerite in The Amen Corner by James Baldwin. I'm very happy that LaShawn asked me to be in this production. It reminds me of how much I really do enjoy acting. So I'm very happy to be here, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, I am Keandre Calloway, and I'll be playing David in the play. I am really glad LaShawn hit me up too, because I haven't acted for him in so long, and I'm just glad to be back.
Where you been until this time in the morning, son?
I was out visiting some people I know, and it got to be later that I realized, and I stayed there overnight.
How come it got to be so late before you realized it?
I don't know. We just got to talking.
Talking? Talking about what, son? You stink like whiskey.
That ain't going to do no good, Ma.
Is that what I've been slaving all these hard years? As I carry slaps, I scrub floors, I ate leftovers and swallowed junk fuls of bitterness by the gallons. Oh, for this. So you could walk in here on this Lord's Day morning stinking of whiskey and some low-down dirty black girl sweat. I declare, I wish you'd have died in my belly too, before I'd have you walked in here after all these years after I've been slaving for this.
Mama, please.
Sit up and look at me. Is you too drunk? Or is you too ashamed? Lord knows you ought to be ashamed.
Mama, I wouldn't have had this to happen this way for nothing in the world.
Was they holding a pistol to your head last evening, huh? Did they tie you down? Did they pour the whiskey down your throat?
What? No. Did nobody have no pistol? Did nobody have no rope? Some fellas just said, let's pick up some whiskey. And I said, sure. We all put in money, and I walked down to the liquor store, and I bought the whiskey, and we all drank it.
David, I ain't so old. I know the world is wicked. I know young people have terrible temptations. Did you do it because you thought those boys would make fun of you?
No.
Was it on account of some girl?
No.
Was it your daddy put you up to it? Was it your daddy made you think it was manly to get drunk?
Daddy, I don't think you can blame it on Daddy, Mama.
Why'd you do it, David? When I done tried to raise you right so hard. Oh, why'd you want to hurt me this way?
Mama, I didn't want to hurt you, Mama. But this day has been coming for a long time, Mama. I can't play piano at the church no more.
Is it on account of your daddy? Is it your daddy put all this foolishness in your head?
Daddy ain't been around in a long time, Mama. I ain't talked to him but once since he's been here.
What did you talk about? That one time, what did you talk about? Did he tell you all about all those wonderful times he had all those years? Blowing his guts out with that trombone?
No, that ain't exactly what he said.
Well, what did you talk about?
He must have been talking about you. He was talking about how he missed you and all that.
Sunday school done started, David. Why don't you go on upstairs and play for them just one last morning?
Mama, I told you I don't play piano for the church no more.
David, why don't you feel it no more? What you once felt, where's it gone? Where's the Holy Ghost gone?
I don't know, Mama. It's empty. It's empty in here.
Can't you pray? Why don't you pray? You pray. If you pray real hard, he'll come back. The Holy Ghost will come back. He'll come down on heavenly wings, David, and he'll fill that empty space in your heart. And he'll get your heart to singing again. He'll fill you with a mighty burning fire and burn out all that foolishness in your head, all those foolish dreams that she carries around up in there, David. Oh, David, pray that the Holy Ghost come back. Pray that the gift of God will come back.
Mama, if a person don't feel it, he just don't feel it.
David, I'm older than you. I've been down the line, and I know there ain't no safety nowhere in this world if you don't stay close to God. What you think the world's got out there for you but a broken heart?
Hello, I am so glad you are here today to join us. My name is Mizuho Shiomi, and I am the Educational and Program Director with the Griot Theater Company. In preparation for this fantastic show, we worked with students from grades 5 through 11. We had 4 sessions with them, each class focusing on a different element of James Baldwin. Our curriculum that we provide at the Griot Theater Company is culturally affirming and amplifying. Our goal is to make sure all our students' voices and experiences are celebrated. Our curriculum also aligns with the California Common Core and standards for theater and dance. Thank you again for joining us today and hope to see you again soon.
The sun shines bright. It shines for everyone around it. Some get less light than others, but it still shines. But what if the inside of the sun is dark? It shines brighter than the lightest room, but on the inside it's dark. It's alone, because in the end, nothing shines from the sun. I am the sun, and I am alone.
Perhaps the primary distinction of the artist is that he must actively cultivate that state which most men necessarily must avoid, the state of being alone. That all men are, when the chips are down, alone. Most of us are not compelled to linger with the knowledge of our aloneness, for it is a knowledge that can paralyze all action in this world. There are forever swamps to be drained, cities to be created, minds to be exploited, children to be fed. None of these things can be done alone. But the conquest of the physical world is not man's only duty. He is also enjoined to conquer the great wilderness of himself. The state of being alone is not meant to bring to mind merely a rustic musing beside some silver lake. The aloneness of which I speak is much more like the aloneness of birth or death. It is like the fearless alone that one sees in the eyes of someone who is suffering, whom we cannot help. I put the matter this way, not out of any desire to create pity for the artist, God forbid. The state of birth, suffering, love, and death are extreme states, extreme, universal, and inescapable. We all know this, but we would rather not know it. The artist is present to correct the delusions to which we fall prey and our attempts to avoid this knowledge. The artist is present to correct the delusions to which we fall prey in our attempts to avoid this knowledge.
I think that the only thing that's changed in the last, since Martin Luther King, since 54, I think the only thing that's really changed is the black woman. And what she
No,
has
I don't
said
think
is
she's changed. I think she's become more visible.
I think she's changed. Because there was a time, let's say my mother, my aunts and things like that, they would say, okay, if that's the way you establish your manhood, I'm going to go for it. And my generation says, hey, no good.
Okay.
You must establish a new base.
I'll agree with that.
And we are, as a group, demanding that a new base be established.
Yeah, but be careful as a woman and what you demand of a man.
I demand that he be a man.
But you can't
because
say,
the provision part.
Yeah, but you can't say you demand it. You have to suggest it.
Well, that's your ego that says that. No, I demand it. Now you deal with that.
All right. Okay.
I demand.
I'll even go with that.
I demand that you be a man, and I don't think that that's asking too much. Because if I wanted a provision, you know, I would get a camper. You know what I mean? I would get a camper that provides things. You know what I mean? You get an army surplus kit that provides things. I need a man. And black men have always been offered to provisions. People are either going to eat or starve to death. You know, the men of Biafra, the people were starving, that they were still the men. Had to be that way through that horrendous kind of war, but it had to be that way because sometimes you are not able to feed your family. Sometimes you are not able to clothe your family. Do you then also deprive them of your manhood and of the input that a man has? Who teaches my son how to pee?
Yeah, but
you see?
Yeah, but you're talking. I agree with you. I see that very well. But it's one thing to be in a situation where you see that you have, where you see a future, however bloody, and to be in a situation where you see no future at all.
But you are. It is incumbent.
If I know,
it is incumbent that we see a future.
If I know what I'm demanding of you, in some sense, makes sense. If I know the fact the kid is not eating today or tonight or tomorrow, in some way makes sense. Yeah, then I can be there. But if it doesn't make any sense, and if I don't see anything coming out of it at all,
will he eat if you're not there?
If you're on welfare, he won't eat if I am there. That's the law. But I don't want to get bogged down into that. What I really mean is that yes, a man can do that if he sees a way. If he sees that it means something. My father couldn't see that. And he was quite right. Because there wasn't anything.
There's something. Because all I know that works in the world is a relationship.
Yes, all right.
Okay, that's all that's going to work. It takes two people to have a relationship.
Yeah, but the relationship.
If you don't have a dream, fake it.
But the relationship, you can't fake a dream.
You got to fake it. Because we don't have dreams these days. How the hell can you have a dream? For what?
Well, it isn't.
So everybody's jiving, but let's jive on that level.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me, and you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course you'll lie to me, because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you the way I treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell. Because I love you, I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man? For 10 years, so that we can get a child on his feet that says, yeah, father smiled at mother. He talked to me about school today. Who cares that you can read or can't read? Most Americans can't read. Most people can't read. They look at the pictures.
Baby, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, and I don't disagree, but no, I'm going to be honest and think about it really. I'm not so sure that is a human possibility. If I have to smile all day, and the cat on the job, the foreman, you don't understand why I'm smiling. Not because I want to smile, I'm smiling because that baby needs new shoes. I can't give a performance all day on the job and come home and give a performance all night in the house.
Okay, so one of the performances will stop.
Yes. So you say, and okay, I might be willing to go with it, but who's going to pay the rent?
You're back to that again. The rent will get paid.
Look, baby, I'm willing to play it your way, but you have to see my point of view.
I see your point of view. But the rent will have to get paid.
The price of the rent is my smile.
No. I don't want you prostituting yourself. I demand.
I don't want you prostituting yourself either. One of us has got to work.
You will work it out because you are intelligent enough and you are sensitive enough, you are a man enough to work out a new system. Because we started off with Everybody's Protest Novel, and we're back there again. As long as the assumptions are the same, nothing will change.
Okay.
So we must corner ourselves to make a new assumption.
Okay, how about it?
In case it was sort of like left up in the air, or somebody, like, I didn't get it across. I really think that my father, Jones Giovanni, is a groovy cat, and he's lived with my mother now for 35 years under holy wedlock, and I think that that's good for them. I think that that sort of thing worked for them. And I think that that's the main thing, that they were able to love despite it all.
That's what we were talking about before.
Right, exactly.
And you, by the way, you do not have to tell me that you like your father. I knew that.
Yeah, I think he's a gas.
Yes,
I just don't want to marry him.
You promised.
I promised a while ago, Serafina. My promise was a ripple in your life's current.
Mufasa, my dear and phenomenal Mufasa, how dare you fix your lips and possess the audacity to proclaim unto me that there was a ripple in my current. I gave you pieces and facets of me that I did not even know existed because of your promise, my dear Mufasa.
Serafina, this is life. This is our base.
Your base is crooked beyond a shadow of doubt, and it is incumbent upon me to straighten it out.
I gotta go.
Mufasa, not only did you promise me and my beloved gift, our beloved gift, from a power far greater than we could ever imagine, you promised God, Mufasa. And I am not, you hear me? I am not going to allow for you to relinquish the covenant that you are obligated and ordained to uphold, to allow the blessings that you are seeking to pour down to rain. You are literally seeking to uproot and erode the base you proclaim you are upholding, Mufasa.
I have to go. God knows my heart. God knows I will be there for my lioness. But God knows that I cannot love you.
God gives you the strength to do the things that he has called you to do, Mufasa. And my dear Mufasa, look at this. Look at this beautiful lioness we are blessed with. She loves you from the depth of her soul, Mufasa. Don't you get it? Mufasa, without you, there will be a hole, a void so profound in her life. I cannot fill it. So for the sake of the base, in all that God has blessed you to manifest, for us to collectively together collaborate to culminate, Mufasa, you cannot go and you cannot. Look at me, look at my eyes, Mufasa. You cannot do this. I, with God, will not allow you to do this.
Hello everyone, my name is Maurice Tobin. I am the Marketing Development Manager here at the Griot Theater Company, and I want to tell you some ways you can stay connected. Be sure to follow us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Griot Theater Company, and head over to our website at www.griottheatercompany.org and check out our website. Find out ways that you can get involved, become a Griot ambassador, become a volunteer, or donate, and just simply stay connected. Find out about our shows and more information. That's www.griottheatercompany.org. Thank you for checking out our show. We appreciate it. We'll see you at our next show.